Hi there, I am Tanya Windiger and I have complex PTSD myself. And today I want to talk about memory because that's kind of something controversial and something I was struggling with for a while. I don't know about you, but it just really hurts when someone questions the validity of your memories or the accuracy of your memories from past traumatic trauma events. And it really hurts on a very deep level. And not only that, for so long I thought that I need to know every detail and I need to be able to put that story back together for me to actually talk that through in therapy, integrate, process and do all that kind of thing before I can heal and move on. And it took me a long time to realize that this is not going to happen because the more I read into the research on memory and how all this is happening, that even knowing if you have very vivid and clear memory of something, that is no proof of its accuracy. And I was fighting this initially till I had one of my own memories and I realized this is actually not that accurate. And I can tell you the one. So it was kind of a near-miss accident in the car that was back in Austria before you had seat belts and things like that. So I was probably less than 4, maybe 3 years old. So I was very little, sitting in between, in the middle in the car. So when my auntie slammed on the brake, I kind of fell forward and landed on the bottom of the passenger side. And you see how I said passenger side on the left-hand side? Because I live now in Australia and the passenger side is on the left-hand side and I have this very vivid memory of that me lying there. But this is impossible because in Austria we actually drive on the other side of the road. So the passenger side is actually on the right. And I realized, oh wow, even though that memory is so vivid, it's not actually that accurate. So that was the starting point of where I could kind of shift and spend a little bit of less time me trying so hard to figure out what actually happened, because my memory has lots of gaps in there and some incidents it feels like I have two things merged together and so forth. I don't know if that's the same for you as well, because with complex PTSD essentially means we had lots of trauma and often it's very similar types of trauma, so it can happen that it's really hard to distinguish exactly when, where and so forth. So I personally try to now just focus on a more overall theme, so to speak, to just acknowledge that what happened was bad, it was horrible, it was bad enough to affect the way my brain developed, it was bad enough for me to have complex PTSD, regardless of whether my memories are accurate or not that accurate. To acknowledge that and know that this was not meant to happen. I didn't do anything deserving of this and neither did you. To really acknowledge the unfairness of this and how this was wrong, but also putting myself back into now. So even knowing that all that happens, now I'm actually safe and it's safe for me to focus on my future and creating a better future for myself, and no amount of joy and happiness or success that I will have now and in future is ever going to take away the fact that what happened was wrong, unjust and criminal and so forth. So that's how I kind of dealt with the memory gaps that I have and the blurry memories and whether they're accurate or not. But I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on that, because this can be something very painful and bring up a lot of hurt when people question on us on that. So please leave a comment down below for me. I'm curious to hear. But in the meantime, I'm sending you lots and lots of love and rainbows to brighten up the tough times just a little.